Is Koba the ancestor of Proximus Caesar? Proximus Caesar is the new villain in the Planet of the Apes universe, a character who has studied in depth the history of mankind and has created an empire to conquer the world. Proximus Caesar is an ape who has also taken Caesar's teachings, but has distorted them to use them to his advantage. But what would you think if I told you that there are several clues that point to this character being a descendant of Koba? And what if this character is actually a descendant of Koba? Do you want to know more about this theory? In this video, we will be analyzing the theory that Koba is an ancestor of Proximus Caesar. And for more videos from the Planet of the Apes universe and your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome
Bienvenidos
to the
a
Oasis Geek. Before starting with this video, I invite you to participate in our Planet of the Apes giveaway, where we will be awarding the Funko Pop of the Apes Liberator Caesar, along with the trilogy of this great character. So if you want to participate, you just have to subscribe to this channel and comment on which is your favorite character from the Planet of the Apes universe and why. The winner will be announced on May 27th. The theory that Proximus Caesar could be a descendant of Koba begins with the history of this cruel antagonist, about 300 years before the story of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Koba was an intelligent bonobo, but blinded by hatred and revenge. He became the antagonist of this universe, but many say they understand that he was simply a victim, and that behind his ideology, there was a great truth. Humans had abused animals for a long time, and that brought about the time when apes took control of the planet. But before Koba became a villain, he grew up in a research building, where he was cared for by Mary and her assistant Quo. He quickly learned sign language and considered himself more human than ape. When Roger, a man who was an alcoholic, abused Koba and killed his mother, Koba was sold to a television station, something that was not good for him either, as the abuse continued. Tommy, his caretaker, mistreated him so much, to the point that Koba was full of scars, and on one occasion he left a wound on his face, causing the loss of vision in his eye. Koba was then sent to a laboratory, where he was subjected to painful experiments and operations. Koba tried to communicate with the scientists through sign language, but he was ignored. His life of abuse and experimentation drove him mad and filled him with hatred. Koba never understood why they experimented on him, or why they treated him so badly, but a scientist noticed his intelligence and assigned him to a project to increase the cognitive abilities of the apes. Later, Koba discovers the truth about his mother and realizes that he had never been human. His sanity disappeared and was replaced by hatred for humans. Subsequently, Koba's hatred for humans clashed with Caesar's compassion and love for others, leading to a confrontation between them, which resulted in Koba's death. However, there are two key elements that connect Proximus Caesar to Koba, and the first is the type of ape. Proximus Caesar is a bonobo, just like Koba. The bonobo, also known as pygmy chimpanzees, is a species of primate closely related to the common chimpanzees, living in the rainforests of the Congo in Central Africa. They differ from the common chimpanzees in several physical and behavioral aspects. Bonobos are generally thinner, have darker faces with red lips, and their bodies are more slender, but with longer legs. The fact that Proximus Caesar is a bonobo like Koba, given such a wide diversity of apes, could be a clue that he is one of his descendants. But perhaps the biggest clue that truly connects them is their ideology. Proximus Caesar, although he repeats Caesar's words constantly, it seems that his ideology belongs more to Koba's ideology. This character is described as a leader who has risen to the top by any means necessary. This points to this villain being an ambitious and possibly ruthless one, willing to do whatever it takes to maintain his power and ensure the evolution of the apes. Perhaps he started out as a historian ape or an inventor, but gradually began to turn his tribe into something more, thus creating an empire. But what was his real driving force? In the intervening centuries, Caesar's teachings have become a type of religion for the apes. Proximus, by taking Caesar's name, presents himself as a messianic figure, destined to lead the apes into a glorious future. But he is not so much like Caesar as he wants to make himself out to be. His interpretation of these teachings seems to be distorted, tailored to justify his own ambition. The character of Proximus bears the name Caesar, but actually behaves more like Koba, which is quite intriguing. This could indicate that in reality, Proximus is a descendant of Koba. Although he bears the name of the great Caesar, known for his just and caring leadership, Proximus displays a more aggressive and calculating personality, similar to Koba. This bond is most evident in the confrontation between Proximus and Noah. Noah has a mark on his chest, which directly links him to Caesar, probably pointing to a family bond between them, as Caesar's ancestors also bore the mark on their bodies. The struggle between Proximus and Noah is not only physical, but also a clash of legacies and principles, mirroring the old battle between Caesar and Koba, the legacy of coexistence with humans, or the ideology of destruction against humanity. Another important point that we cannot forget is that this movie takes inspiration from Star Wars, a classic in which the theme of family legacy plays a crucial role. In Star Wars, for example, Rey, the protagonist, happens to be Palpatine's granddaughter, while Kylo Ren is Luke Skywalker's nephew. These family connections are not just minor details, but are central elements that drive the plot and deepen the development of the characters. The theme of family legacy is a recurring one in many adventure stories, and in narratives about the hero's journey, as we have mentioned in previous videos. This theme highlights how past generations influence current generations, and how characters must deal with the expectations and shadows of their ancestors. In many of these stories, the characters not only discover secrets about their families, but also struggle with the decision to follow or challenge the legacy they have inherited. If Noah represents Caesar's line and ideals, then it seems logical to think that Proximus might represent Koba's descendants, both in terms of personal characteristics and approach to power and authority. History seems to repeat itself, but with new characters that embody the conflicts and characteristics of their ancestors. Personally, I think this theory is very likely, but we may not know the truth about Proximus Caesar's true origin until a future film. I think this movie will first reveal the legacy of Caesar and Noah, and then explore the origins of this villain and his possible connection to Koba. It would be a very pleasant surprise for many fans if this connection is confirmed, adding a deeper layer to the story and generating a lot of interest in how the plot will develop in future installments. But tell me, what do you think about all this? Could it be that Proximus Caesar is indeed a descendant of Koba? Drop your opinion in the comments. And for more videos from the Planet of the Apes universe, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You are on The Oasis Geek.